Yeah, we out here, nigga. Yeah, nigga. People ask, what's out here? What's out here? Nigga, we out, yeah, we chill. Stupid niggas. They say it's wrong, but we doing right. We moving right, we in the loop, ducking, moving like shit. From noon to night, it's just the goons and the crew is tight. What you doing tonight? Just me and you, when the mood is right. It's a loop with Sprite, cause we out, yeah. And my team always getting that green, yeah. Cause we out, yeah. And my team always getting that green, yeah. Cause we out, yeah.
Minute Maid high, whip it up. Treat beef like cows in slaughterhouse. That's why we gripping up. Doing dirt on my own. Ain't no bitching up. Counting money talk, election going on in my pocket. Stunting when I buy the bar. Change with Ted Dawson. He brushed me wrong. I have him slipping, grazing in the grass. She got an all you body, easy slipping when I smash. She wanna feel the fire, Peebo Bryson. I tell her Jula pick up the pieces on this average white band. I see mixed brown dope, it ain't 10. Damn, what he talking about? Money a Muslim before they come and chalk him out. That's what my talk be about. You ain't feeling what I'm saying, ma. Get out the car and walk it out. You saving me gas, me money, and not wasting my fucking time. Can't you see I'm on my fucking grind? Pretending like they not, but they are. So tell them get.
But as it turns out, Brandon Keith Mitchell, one of the new fathers of this baby, is a tier 1 sex offender in Pennsylvania. He was arrested in 2016 for attempting to solicit a 16-year-old boy for sexual abuse. And if for some reason you don't believe me, here's the proof. When Brandon was arrested in 2016, he was employed as a chemistry teacher at a high school, and he was charged with multiple felonies, including possession of child pornography, sexual abuse of children, endangering the welfare of children, and corruption of minors. This information comes from a press release from the Chester County District Attorney's Office dated February 9th, 2016. So this guy's a known pedophile who is on the sex offender registry, and there was nothing in Pennsylvania law that stopped him from adopting a child through surrogacy. And people are outraged about this, but there were literally no laws. There was nothing that could stop this guy from adopting this baby through this process. And obviously now the internet is outraged with this. And yes, the baby is still in his possession. I get asked all the time, why do I focus on subjects like this through my videos? Why do I make content surrounding these issues? And why am I constantly trying to raise awareness around this stuff? It's because of cases like this. There are so many individual cases like this where the laws just are not strong enough for these crimes. I mean, this guy was charged with some absolutely horrific stuff, and the fact that just less than a decade later, he's already out on the street, able to adopt a child through surrogacy, is incredibly alarming and deeply disturbing. And in every state, there are laws that could be strengthened, and people just need to be more vigilant and aware of their neighbors and their surroundings. I am assuming that something is now going to be changed in Pennsylvania law. And if somebody starts a petition for this law to be changed, I will be sure to post it in my bio. But yeah, I honestly do get sick of covering stories like this. But until the day that something actually begins to change, it seems like I'm going to have to keep talking about it.
Holy fuck, they caught the Zodiac. Well, they didn't catch him. He died 3 years ago. Gary Francis Poste, I don't know. This is early, guys. A team called the Case Breakers, which is an independent team made up of detectives, journalists, and ex-military, believe they've identified the Zodiac killer. Not much is known, but apparently they spent years going through Poste's darkroom. He had a darkroom, and he had a whole bunch of photos in there. And they came across scars on his forehead, which matched the composite sketch of the Zodiac. Apparently there's something in the old Zodiac letters, too, that reveal Poste as the killer. The team said that they found in one of the Zodiac letters that if you removed all the letters from Poste's full name, that it revealed an alternate message. One of the detectives that worked with Case Breakers said that you have to know Poste's full name in order to decode the anagrams. They also believe that Gary Francis Poste is responsible for a murder that wasn't even linked to the Zodiac back in 1966 in the SoCal city of Riverside. Now, it's still early. I don't know who the hell this guy is. We're going to find out more. There's been some investigative teams before that have said that they found the Zodiac and it didn't turn out to be true, but holy hell, this is the biggest thing in a while.
Normal looking photos that have a disturbing backstory, part 24. On June 18, 1964, protesters jumped into a whites-only pool at a hotel in Florida. In an effort to drive them out, the hotel owner started pouring acid into the water. This is the last photo of cave diver John Jones. He took a wrong turn in the famous Nutty Putty Cave and fell down a hole and was stuck upside down for 27 hours until he eventually died due to cardiac arrest. June and Jennifer Gibbons, known as the Silent Twins, were inseparable sisters who eventually stopped speaking to other people. And the twins had an agreement that if one died, the other must start speaking and live a normal life. Shortly after their release from a mental health hospital, Jennifer died of mysterious causes, and June spoke the next day for the first time in over 20 years.
3 people are dead and over a dozen first responders have been exposed to an unknown substance in New Mexico. Around 11 a.m. today, New Mexico State Police responded to a home in Mountain Air, New Mexico after the Torrance County Sheriff's Office requested help for what was initially believed to be a suspected overdose involving an unidentified substance. When they got in the home, responders found 4 people unresponsive. 3 of those people had died and the 4th was taken to a hospital in Albuquerque for treatment. During the response, 18 first responders were exposed to the unknown substance and started experiencing symptoms like nausea and dizziness. All 18 were taken to University of New Mexico Hospital to be quarantined, evaluated, monitored, and treated. Some patients reportedly had headache, nausea, and vomiting. As of the latest reports that I found, 2 first responders were listed in critical condition. The rest were being monitored and evaluated. So what was the substance? Well, officials have not confirmed what it is yet. However, investigators believe that the substance may be transmitted through contact, and they do not believe it is airborne. Albuquerque Fire Rescue hazmat teams were assisting at the scene to identify it. The mayor said in a public statement that early indications were pointing towards narcotics as a possible factor. However, that's not the same as an official confirmed lab identification. Officials did say that there is no current threat to the public, and a secure perimeter was established, and the affected area appears to be limited to the residents. As more information is available, I will keep you guys updated. Make sure to hit that follow button for the latest true crime news.
All 5 are dead, or are they? This is the story of the Martin family. On December 7th, 1958, the family left their home to pick up Christmas decorations. On the way, they stopped for gas and for lunch. That was the last time they were seen alive. Police say everything in the house was undisturbed. There were dishes in the sink from the previous meal, and there was a Santa Claus suit laid out on the bed. The family's bank accounts were untouched as well. The case went cold until February 1959 when police found tire tracks matching the family's vehicle heading off a cliff in Oregon into the Columbia River. Later that year, a drilling rig near the site of the tire tracks hooked something heavy and metal, but it broke free before it was able to pull it to the surface. A couple days later, 2 of the 3 daughters' bodies were found downstream, and one of them had a hole in her head. The case is still unsolved, but there is a lot more to this story. Follow and like for part 2.
Curtain number 1 is correct.
What can we call this? This right here, sir? In the ground that don't look bumper clock sound? This right here, so you want to play with? Look on the inscriptions. Put it back in the ground. 1, 2, fast. Go sit down pan your ass. I'm tired of gonna keep touching up things that don't concern you. You keep coming and doing it again and again and again. What make you want to dig it out to the ground, yeah? What possess you if you come up and dig out this thing out to the ground? You don't think say you could get possessed yourself, you know? No, man, it's like, you can't hear me. You can't just let things be. You don't think, say, we have trouble already. I'm trying to live my life steady. Go home, leave things alone before I lick you with that big piece of stone. Sure, I'm tired of you, man. I'm tired.
Did you know that Texas's oldest unsolved mass murder is of a Latino family, and at least 20 investigators have never been able to crack the cold case? On April 16, 1968, the Arellano family of 6 traveled from Mexico to San Angelo, Texas to visit family Juan Manuel, who was 29, and the father, his 24-year-old wife Monica, his 21-year-old sister Rosa, and his 3 children with Monica, Eduardo 1, Leticia 2, and Juan Manuel Jr. 5 were all traveling together. At one point, their 1958 Buick broke down while on their journey on a remote highway with a flat tire. They didn't have a spare, but somebody stopped that helped the family and took them to Sonora, Texas to fix the flat tire. Sometime after that, the individual took them back to where the vehicle was stranded, and 5 of the family members were murdered in rural Edwards County, Texas. The next day, a ranch hand discovered the bodies near Highway 277 and scattered. Their bodies had been shot, stabbed, and beaten, and Rosa had been sexually assaulted. In the tall grass hiding was the sole survivor, Manuel Jr. His sister Leticia died in the hospital 2 days later, and he had to have multiple surgeries and was taken to Mexico to live with family. 2 weeks after the murders, police were finally able to interview little Manuel, and he told authorities that a big cowboy who was a white man had helped and killed his father. A driver passing by also said that he saw a cowboy with the family. A person of interest then became a white male over 6 feet tall between the ages of 30 to 35, weighing about 200 pounds, with sandy hair, light eyebrows, and a rash on his neck. He wore a straw hat with boots that had an eagle on the side and pants that were tucked in them, and he had a large hunting knife on his belt. The trip to San Angelo, Texas was never meant to be difficult for the Arellano family. The father, Juan Manuel, knew English and had been to the United States before. In fact, his license plates were from Texas, and he had been a migrant farm worker in the state of Iowa. Over the years, there were many leads that were followed and had no success. The gun that was used has never been found, and it is possible that the individual who committed these murders may have already passed away.
Don't look at what's in front of you, boo.
About you, and it's no one else like you is what they're getting. Positive vibes only. Shout out to King Saul's boss in the build about you, and it's no one else.
There's no discharge in the war. If your eyes drop, they will get the top of you. Boom, 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 boom. Moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. Try. To think of something different. Oh, God, keep from going lunatic. Boom, moving up and down again.
My life, son.
Saul's the boss. It's his birthday. Everybody wish him happy birthday.
Oh, this is big right here, y'all. Everybody wish Sauce, the official boss.
Oh, man.
Happy birthday,
We're back
man.
once again.
Let's go. Let's see it in the timeline.
If you're feeling down, just
I like
get
the.
you a bag of that.
I like the wish Sauce.
Can't find him to stay here, right? Can't greet him with 2, only the 3rd eye. Killer vision,
I like the wish Sauce the boss. A happy birthday. I like to give a big shout out to Ashley Gordon. I see somebody say Ashley Gordon. Charlie Fields.
Albert Einstein, imagination is more important than knowledge.
I like how that sounds, yo.
Extraterrestrial blunt.
I like to give a big happy birthday to Sauce the